Hey guys, welcome back to another foundation road test. Today I'm looking at Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Water Fresh Makeup. I actually ordered this from Estee Lauder because my counter didn't have it. One thing that I do want to mention really quickly is that this video is going to be loaded while I am on vacation. So if you guys are commenting below and I'm a little slow or a little sporadic in responding, it's not because I don't love you, it's because I'm out of town on vacation. So I will get back to you. It just may not be on my normal timetable. The shade I got is a little bit too light for me. It's Desert Beige 2-in-1. I usually wear Dawn or Rattan. They don't have either of those shades in this foundation. So if you are my foundation match, and I do have all of those listed below in the description box, they don't have your shade. The next warm shade that they have is Tawny, and I felt like it was gonna be a little bit too deep. In hindsight, I probably should have gotten it to blend it with this. So obviously I've been wearing this here and there, and I have a good grasp of what I feel about it. I'll talk about that in the summary. But what I'm doing is comparing this with Estee Lauder Double Wear Light. So I'm gonna give a full review of this foundation, but I do want to compare this with Estee Lauder Double Wear Light because I feel like this has a whole lot more in common with Double Wear Light than it does with Double Wear. I feel like this isn't even close to Estee Lauder Double Wear. It could have been put in a whole different foundation line as far as I'm concerned, but I'll get into that in the summary. I love Estee Lauder Double Wear. I have a foundation road test on this. I am gonna link that up here. If you haven't checked that out, I would check it out because you'll get my full perspective on Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, and you'll get to see how it wears throughout the day as well. I am gonna put a shot of me wearing Estee Lauder Double Wear Light in this video before I get to the summary, so you'll get to see it just in case you haven't seen the other video, but I would go watch the other video. I think it'll be helpful for you getting a perspective on what we're looking at. I also have a video on Estee Lauder Double Wear and how to make it not look cakey. If you haven't seen that video, a lot of people have problems with Estee Lauder Double Wear because it looks too masky or heavy or cakey. And if you haven't been able to get it to work for you, I think that video could really help you. It's helped a lot of people. I don't think it's one of my better, more personable videos. It was early on and my intro was a little bit long and I don't think I smiled enough. I don't know, but I do feel like it's helped a lot of people, and that's the ultimate goal. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll also link it, and I have a comparison of Estee Lauder Double Wear and Double Wear Light together. I'll link that too. It's been helpful for people. I think some people who haven't been able to get Double Wear to work for them think Double Wear Light won't work either, and I love them both for completely different reasons. So that is why I wanted to look at this in comparison with this. So getting into product, both foundations retail for $42 for 1 ounce of product. There's 10 shades in Double Wear Light and there's 12 shades in Double Wear Nude. So I'll just read you what Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude claims, and then I'll read you what Estee Lauder Double Wear Light claims. Double Wear Nude claims to be 24 hours with SPF 30 broad spectrum sunscreen. It says it has real skin satin water light coverage with fresh, natural feel, and it leaves your skin even toned. It's oil controlling, anti-pollution, oil-free, and fragrance-free. It is supposed to be hydrating and give you light to medium coverage. Estee Lauder Double Wear Light is supposed to be 15-hour wear, lightweight, resist smudging, won't melt off skin in heat or humidity. It's supposed to control excess oil, be photo-friendly. It's also oil-free and fragrance-free, and it gives you sheer or light to medium coverage. And obviously a huge difference is the packaging. The Double Wear Nude is in a heavier glass bottle, very similar to Double Wear, and the Double Wear Light is in a very light, travel-friendly bottle. So we can get on to the application. Again, I've been wearing it off and on for about a week and a half, and I have a good grasp of how I feel about it and how it applies and wears best. But I always want you guys to see how it applies initially and how it goes on the skin. So I am gonna show you with one side applied with fingers, one side applied with the sponge, just to show you. It's pretty darn watery. I mean, it's a water-based foundation, so obviously it's gonna be watery, but you know, it drips. So they do recommend that you hold whatever you're gonna be applying with and tilt the bottle with it against it. in order to apply it. So it's gonna drip. It's pretty watery. So you do have to shake this really well before you apply it since it's water-based. I've already done that. I've also already primed with my Hourglass Veil primer and let that sit while I put on my shadow primer. What I've been doing on a daily basis is mixing in 2 to 3 drops of this Bare Minerals Bare Skin Serum Bronzer. It doesn't change the consistency and it adds in a little bit of a deeper tone to match my skin. I'm not gonna do that today just so you guys get a sense of the color of this on my normal skin tone. You can see my foundation shades down below. I've also been wearing this in different ways already, but I'm going to show the application today with my L'Oreal sponge on one side and my fingers on the other. So they do recommend just tilting the bottle and doing that versus putting it on the back of your hand like I would normally do. So it's pretty watery, obviously, because it's water-based. You do have time to work with it. So that's 1/2, one layer, and there's not much difference. It slightly evens out redness, and you can add to it. It doesn't feel sticky or tacky. And I do have a couple of spots here from where I broke out from a skin product that is going into my July fails section. You'll see that in a little bit if it hasn't been up already. And I like that it does blend in very easily and quickly. So if you don't have any tools to blend in the foundation, you can use your fingers and go to town. But you do need a concealer because it is water-based, it's very thin, it's not gonna cover a whole lot. It's really just to even out the skin, very similar to a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer. So that's it on the right side of my face, and this is the left side of my face. And I think you can tell a difference. And I'll do this side with a sponge. So here's the Nude foundation on the finger side and the sponge side before I have on any other makeup. And it is pale. That's okay, I'll fix it with makeup. I really can't tell any difference no matter what way I apply it, whether it's with a brush or a sponge or my fingers. It looks pretty much the same no matter what because it is such a thin, fluid foundation. I'm gonna zoom you in just a little bit so you can see. It evens out the skin a little bit. Again, it's a water light foundation. I don't think it's by any means medium coverage. I'm still gonna need concealer and it does look like my skin for sure. I did forget to tell you that I do have some concealer under my eyes already. I wasn't gonna do this today and I was gonna do a powder foundation, which I will be doing a powder foundation routine coming up in August. But that's a whole other story. So I will come back to you later on with an update of how this is doing throughout the day. And we will chat at the end about how I feel about this foundation overall and in comparison with Double Wear Light, because I feel like that is really the fair comparison here versus Double Wear. I just wanted to show you really quickly, I'm in the middle of doing a demo for a makeup look and I haven't set my face yet. And in doing my eyes and creasing my forehead, the Double Wear Nude has creased right here and settled. I'm hoping that you can see that. So I just wanted to point that out to you, that if you don't set your face and you do crease your forehead a little bit the way I do, you may get some settling. It's only been about 25 minutes. So just something to note. Hey, I'm checking in about 5.5 hours after I applied. I'm hoping that you can see that there is some shine going on. I haven't blotted or anything today just because I've been doing some other things. I know sometimes you really can't see the shine that I see based on the lighting, but it definitely needs to be blotted. I do find that I have to keep in check with this foundation during the day just to see about the blot factor, but I am going to touch up with powder like I would if I was running around or working, and I'll check in again at the end of the day, maybe another time, but I'll get closer. Hopefully you can see. It's still there, but there is some shine you can see on the side of my nose and on my chin. So that's it. I will check in later. So I forgot to check in at the end of the day yesterday. I reapplied my makeup exactly the same way as far as the face products go today. It's been 8.5 hours. I'm still out and about, and I'm gonna check in at the end of the day. I've blotted about 3 times. It still looks good. I don't know, feel like a BB cream or something else might look just as good, and I could potentially blot less. It's been a 12.5 hour day that I've had this on. I don't think it looks horrible, but I've had to blot and touch up about 5 times-ish. I know it's been a good 5 times. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit just so you can see. I think that you can see some texture on my forehead, and the redness is peeking through on my cheeks. That is not just my blush. And I think that my chin is looking a little red too. So as far as this being a 24-hour foundation, for me, I'm not so sure about that because I am oily combination skin, and I am somewhere where it is the middle of the summer. It's hot, it's in the mid to upper 90s, and it is very humid where I live. So if you're oily combination and you live in this kind of environment, this is the water-based foundation, and it just may not work well for you. I've seen some raves on this foundation, and I'm not sure what type of environment they live in right now, but I feel like there are some BB creams that I can apply in the morning, and they not only apply very well as far as evening out my redness without me having to layer them so much, and they wear very well throughout the day without me having to worry about being shiny at all, even when it's humid. Not just BB creams. Estee Lauder Double Wear Light is one of those, and it's not a BB cream. I just wanted to go ahead and give you that perspective at this check-in before I get to the final summary. This is pretty much what I've experienced every single day that I've worn this, no matter how I've applied, no matter what I've applied it with, and that's it for the check-in. It's been exactly 8 hours and 15 minutes that I've had Estee Lauder Double Wear Light on. I have not blotted one time today. Not blotted, not touched up with powder, not anything. And I'm hoping that the sun reflecting is not making it look shiny, but it really doesn't look shiny at all in person. I'm gonna get a little bit closer. I'm trying to look in the mirror behind so I can see what I'm actually zooming in on. That's it. And I feel like it might look a little bit glowy, but it certainly doesn't look like I need to touch up. I am going to be going to a family gathering this evening, and I feel no need to add anything, change anything about my makeup. I know that this will last me way into the night and I'll be fine. Before I get into what I think about the Double Wear Nude, I'm just going to remind you of what I think about the Double Wear Light in case you haven't seen that video yet, or in case you watched it a little while back and you don't remember. When I blot during the day, it doesn't lift any of the foundation off at all. I wear this foundation in the heat of the summer. It's really hot, really humid here, and it will last me from early morning until late at night, and it will look good. I'm not saying I never have to blot. When I do, it doesn't look super oily. It just stays looking good, and it wears gracefully. You don't look like you're not wearing makeup, but your skin looks really good and polished, and it doesn't look heavy whatsoever. It's a nice light finish. It wears really light on the skin. It's great for combination oily skin because you don't have to blot all the time and you don't get shiny, and it's travel friendly. So that's my synopsis of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light. I just really like that foundation. It's consistently at the top for me. In comparison, the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude, I feel like no matter how I applied it, it is more sheer to light coverage. I don't really think I've ever gotten true medium coverage from it. You know, I have it on today, but I did have to use concealer with it to cover any blemishes at all, which I do have to do with the Double Wear Light, but I feel like I get more light to medium coverage with the Double Wear Light easier. It just is easier and quicker for me to apply without having to continue to build it. And it evens out my skin just a lot more evenly and seamlessly than the Double Wear Nude. I feel like the Double Wear Nude is more sheer to light coverage, whereas the Double Wear Light is more light to medium coverage, but they're claiming the opposite for both of them. So that's a little weird to me. When I blot, it does lift some of the foundation off. I feel like it claims that it's 24 hours, but it's really not 24 hours. I don't know. I've said that I feel like they should have just completely named this foundation something else, like not put it in the Double Wear line at all. And I stand by that. It reminds me of a really light skin evening BB cream in a way with the consistency, which I think there's a place for that. But I do think that you kind of have to have some time to make it work for you so that you can build it if you need to in certain areas, or use concealer, or have a really good skin day, if that makes sense. Whereas I feel like the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, it just goes on so quickly and easily and evens out much quicker because it's more of a light to medium coverage. I feel like the Double Wear Light controls oil hands down better than the Double Wear Nude. I've had to blot every single day I've worn this, no matter what I've worn under it, whether it's been my oil control, moisturizer and primer, or my mattifying sunscreen, or nothing. I have to blot with this foundation. So for me, wearing a BB cream that's sheer, that also is a little bit mattifying and oil controlling, works better for me than this. I think there's a place for it if you want that dewy look. You really have to want that dewy look. And if you have oily or combination skin, you're gonna have to set it. I mean, I have to set everything. If you really need some hydration, I think this might be the way to go. Or if you have normal or dry skin, this might be better for you than, say, Double Wear. Double Wear Light, I really pretty much think anybody, any skin type could wear Double Wear Light. In terms of what it does give a dewy finish for me before I put powder on. When I put powder on, it does make it look more like my skin, but the oils come through very quickly. So I have to be prepared to touch up. Am I gonna wear this on a long day that I need to have skin that's maintenance free? No. That's where I'll use Estee Lauder Double Wear Light if I want more of a skin finish that is maintenance free, or I'll choose an even lighter BB cream type product. And I'm gonna have a BB cream video coming up in August where I'll talk about lighter foundations that I really like, BB cream type foundations. I've seen it raved about, I've seen it not raved about, and I'm kind of in that latter camp. I love Double Wear. I love Double Wear Light. I have a place for both of those. But I'm not sure if I really have a place for this, because if I want something that is really sheer and skin-like, I need it to not be completely dewy too, because I'm gonna have to blot all the time, and that is just not what I want. So it might just be for a skin type that is not like my own, which I know some of you have that. So this may be something you want to check out if you do have normal or dry skin. This may work for you. But if you have oily skin, you may want to reconsider, because it's just a little bit too much maintenance for me. So that is my final verdict on this foundation. I am just not as excited and thrilled about it as I had hoped. I really was excited about it when I heard about it and rushed to order it. And I'm a little bit disappointed, especially after a couple of the reviews I saw. I just really thought this was going to be this fantastic, groundbreaking water light foundation for me, and it's just not. So I hope you enjoyed this foundation road test and this slight comparison with another member of the Estee Lauder Double Wear family. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you're not following me on social media, I'll put that on the screen and down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.